Your coworker is cutting cake in the break room. He is 60 years old. Everyone claps when he says he is finally retiring. Then he laughs and says, "I hope the numbers work." Nobody laughs after that. You go back to your desk and open your own retirement account. The balance is zero, not low, not behind. Zero. You are 24 and the app still calls it your future. At this level, retirement is not a plan. It is a rumor older people talk about while you are trying to pay rent. Your paycheck arrives on Friday. Rent leaves on Saturday. Groceries take 96. Car insurance takes 184. The student loan portal reminds you that 312 is due in 5 days. Tell yourself you will start later. Later becomes next month. Next month becomes after the raise. After the raise becomes when life calms down. The first rule is simple. Retirement does not punish you all at once. It charges interest on every year you ignore it. At zero saved, the danger is not poverty at 65. The danger is that waiting feels harmless. Then one night, your mother asks if you have started saving yet. You say, kind of. She nods like she believes you. You hate that more than if she questioned it. So the next morning, you open the account again. You set the contribution to $50 a month. It feels embarrassing. It also feels like a door opening. Your balance hits $1,000 9 months later. The app sends digital confetti for an amount that would not cover one major car repair. You stare at it anyway. This is the first level where the future becomes visible, but only barely. Before, every dollar had a job before it arrived. Now, one small piece of every paycheck escapes. Your friend Marcus sees the old lunch you packed from home and says, "You are doing all that for $50? You almost explain compounding. You do not. Because at 1,000, compounding sounds like a poster in a school hallway. The real benefit is not the money yet, it is the identity. You are someone who has started. That sounds small until you meet people 10 years older who are still negotiating with themselves. The second rule, the first $1,000 is not retirement money. It is proof that the habit can survive contact with real life. The clock was always running. At 50,000, people start thinking you are responsible. Not wealthy, responsible. You have 3 monthly expenses in cash, and the retirement account finally looks real. 50,000. You take a screenshot, then delete it. Your job offers a 401k match. You used to contribute 2%. Now you contribute 6% and capture the full match. Your employer adds $3,408 this year. Free money, hidden inside paperwork, almost nobody reads carefully. You used to chase promo codes for 20 minutes to save 11 on sneakers. Meanwhile, you nearly ignored thousands because the benefits portal looked boring. At this level, retirement is still fragile. One medical bill could shake it. One layoff could force you to pause. But you are no longer at zero. That matters. You notice a quiet split between you and Marcus. He earns more now. He also upgraded everything. Apartment, phone, car, vacations, watch. When the bill comes at dinner, he taps his card with confidence and checks his banking app under the table. You see the screen for half a second. 614. You say nothing. He says, "Must be nice being disciplined." You smile because discipline sounds noble. From the inside, it feels like saying no at furniture stores. The third rule. At 50,000, retirement is not freedom. It is distance from desperation. At 100,000, the account changes the way emergencies feel. Your transmission fails on a rainy Tuesday. The mechanic says 3,200. For 3 seconds, your old self returns. The stomach drop. The math. Then you remember the cash reserve. You pay the bill. You are annoyed, not ruined. That is a new emotion. Retirement is not only about age 65. It changes the present by making disasters smaller. Your balance crosses 100,000 at 31. Fireworks. No one at work knows. Marcus posts from Cancun the same week with the caption, "Life is short." You almost feel jealous. Then your retirement app shows the projected value at 65 if you never increase the contribution again. 1.1 million. You read the number twice. Future you feels like a real person you are responsible for. A good month now adds more than your contribution. A bad month erases 6 weeks of progress. You learn to stop treating volatility like betrayal. The fourth rule. The first 100,000 is hard because most of it has to come from you. After that, the account slowly starts helping. The clock was always running. At 250,000, retirement creates confidence other people mistake for arrogance. You say no to weekend work once. Not loudly, not dramatically, just no. Your manager blinks because most people negotiate from fear. You're still afraid, just less owned by it. The account gives your voice a floor. You have 250,000 invested, 22,000 in cash, and no credit card debt. Your life is not luxurious, but it is structurally different from zero. When Marcus gets laid off, the charger disappears first, then the apartment, then the watch. He calls you one night and says, "I thought I had more time." You do not lecture him. You remember saying the same thing to yourself at 24. You help him update his resume. He asks how much you have saved. You tell him enough to sleep. That is the most honest answer you can give. The fifth rule. Money cannot remove fear, but it can make fear less qualified to make decisions for you. At 500,000, the number becomes large enough to change your personality if you are not careful. You check after a strong market year. 5,408, $500,000. But your life does not look rich. Same apartment, same coffee maker, same jacket with the zipper that catches when you are in a hurry. This is where retirement wealth becomes invisible. People can see the car you did not buy. They cannot see the shares you kept. Your aunt asks why you still rent. A coworker jokes that you are cheap. A banker sends offers with words like premier and preferred. The visible version looks ordinary. The spreadsheet version is quietly dangerous. You meet with a planner for the first time, not because you need magic, but because mistakes are expensive now. A 1% mistake is $5,000 a year, quietly leaving the room. The sixth rule. Building wealth is loud in your head and silent to everyone else. At 1 million, the milestone arrives on a normal Wednesday. You are eating leftovers at your desk. The market moves up. Your net worth crosses 7 figures. You refresh the app twice, like the second refresh will make it official. Then you go to a 2 p.m. meeting about quarterly goals. Nobody knows you became a millionaire between microwaved pasta and a spreadsheet. You expected the number to change the day. It changes the lens. A 1-200 phone is no longer expensive because you cannot afford it. It is expensive because you know what $1,200 invested for 20 years could become. That is both wisdom and a curse. Marcus is working again now. Smaller apartment. No charger. He is contributing 10%. At 1 million, retirement becomes possible in theory and complicated in practice. Healthcare, inflation, housing, family, sequence of returns. The number is big enough to impress people who do not understand retirement, and small enough to scare people who do. The seventh rule. $1 million does not end the question. It upgrades the question. From, can I retire one day, to what kind of life am I actually funding? At 2 million, the conversation changes from accumulation to design. You are 52. The retirement account is not one account anymore. It is a 401k, a Roth IRA, a taxable brokerage, cash reserves, and old accounts you can actually understand. Your parents are older. Your back has opinions. The future is no longer abstract. It has dates on it. You run the numbers with a planner. If you spend $82,000 a year, adjust for inflation, delay Social Security, and avoid panic selling during bad markets, the plan works. The phrase, "the plan works," lands harder than you expected. Not exciting. Heavy. Because now retirement is not a fantasy. It is a decision at your front door. You think about quitting. Then you think about who you would be without the job title. That question scares you more than the spreadsheet. At 2 million, the money problem begins turning into an identity problem. The eighth rule. Retirement is not only a math problem. It is also the moment you find out who you became while solving the math problem. At 5 million, nobody worries about whether you can retire. They worry about whether you know how to stop. You are 61. The portfolio shows 5,038,900. The house is paid off. The accounts are organized. The insurance is handled. You have more than you imagined when you were 24 staring at zero. And still, on Monday morning, you wake up at 5,047. No alarm. Your body reports to a job you no longer need. The first month feels strange. People congratulate you like you won. Smile. You travel. You fix things around the house that were not broken enough before. You take Marcus fishing on a Thursday. He has 640,000 now. Not perfect. Not early. But real. He says, "I wish I started when you did." You look at the water and say, "I wish I enjoyed it more while I was doing it." That is the final turn. At 0, you thought retirement was about escaping work. At 5 million, you realize it was about owning time without becoming afraid to spend it. The account did its job. The machine ran. The years compounded. But the money was never supposed to be the life. It was supposed to protect the life. Somewhere, a 24-year-old opens a retirement app for the first time. The balance is 0. He feels behind before he has even started. He thinks the number is judging him. It is not. It is waiting. The clock was always running. The only question is whether you start running with it before it runs without you.